This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
The Roses were living the dream.
To you, my darling.
No, to you.
Until it all came crashing down.
He got fired.
Fired?
This Friday, stop.
You stop!
And see The Roses. Rated R. In theaters everywhere Friday.
Talk about stepping up! Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Hello. Coco, don't over edit that so that you can't hear the wind blowing while we're on this beautiful summer vacation on the beach.
The heat waves. I love that.
Welcome to brand new episode of But Am I Wrong? But Am I Wrong is a very interactive choose your own adventure show that we're actually guiding you on. So it's not really choose your own adventure, but you get to pipe in and say, hey, I got thoughts on that. And we'll give you more details as we go along for each segment of the show.
Crushing it. Yeah, all you need to know is one of the ways we want you to participate is by voting in who you think was wrong in each segment on this episode. So over on our Instagram stories, we post on the story as well as the highlight around the day before. So make sure you're following so you know when that goes up. We post a poll of who you think was wrong and you vote and then reply right in about why you voted the way you did, your thoughts and feelings. And then we read all those results on our Tuesday episode called See You Next Tuesday.
Great job, Megan.
Thank ya.
Should we get into our first segment?
Let's do it.
Our first segment is called But Am I Wrong? That's when Megan and I will share something from either our personal lives or something in the world that we're just like, whoa, I got to talk about that. It might be a rant. It might be just something that is really grinding our gears. And then we share it. And as Megan said, you vote for if we were wrong in the situation. And this week, I'm up first. Trigger warning for sexual predators and suicide. All right. So this week, I'm going to talk about Roblox, a company that has a market value of $91 billion, a platform with over 120 million monthly active users, and a place where a significant portion of its audience is under 13 years old. And so what I want to present to y'all is, if you're an app for children, why aren't you protecting your audience? And this isn't just a theoretical question. It's a question brought to the forefront by the courageous actions of a young man named Michael, also known as Schlep. He's a 22-year-old YouTuber who, for the past 2 years, has made it his mission to hunt down predators on Roblox. Why? Because when he was 8 years old, he was groomed on Roblox, an experience that he said led to a suicide attempt. His efforts have reportedly led to 6 arrests. He was doing what Roblox itself seemed unable or unwilling to do. You would think that a company so dedicated to its young audience would applaud such efforts, or at the very least collaborate with them. Instead, Roblox's response was swift and definitive. They banned Schlep. They sent him a cease and desist letter accusing him of simulated child engagement and directing users to move conversations off platform. Think about that. The company is not just ignoring a problem, it's actively targeting the individuals who are exposing the problem. Roblox's justification is that vigilante groups will face consequences. They argue that these groups, while well-intentioned, are violating their policies and creating an unsafe environment. They say these hunters impersonate children and use tactics similar to the predators themselves. But this argument is a smokescreen. It deflects from the fundamental issue. Roblox is a hunting ground for child sex predators. This isn't a hyperbolic claim. It's a stark reality supported by multiple lawsuits, news investigations, and even official legal action. Louisiana's Attorney General has filed a lawsuit alleging that Roblox prioritizes user growth, revenue, and profits over child safety. A Bloomberg report found that over 24 individuals have been arrested since 2018 for abducting or abusing victims they met on the platform. The stories are heartbreaking, and while Roblox points to its moderation tools, Schlepp and others say their reports have fallen on deaf ears. The cease and desist letter was, in his own words, the first real contact he'd ever had with the company. The only time Roblox seems to listen is when they're threatened or when their own image is at stake. Roblox's actions are a betrayal of trust. They are essentially saying that a vigilante who catches a predator is a bigger threat to their company than the predator themselves. Why? Because predator hunting highlights the flaws in Roblox's security and moderation system. It peels back the curtain and reveals the uncomfortable truth that for all its profit, for all its immense popularity, Roblox has been, at best, a negligent caretaker of its youngest users. This is a David and Goliath situation. On one side, you have a young man who was hurt and now dedicates his life to ensuring no one else is. On the other hand, you have a multi-billion-dollar corporation with AI-powered moderation tools and a team of lawyers who, when confronted with the reality of their platform, decided to turn on the one who is trying to help. The message is clear. Roblox is prioritizing its bottom line over the safety of its children. They've chosen to protect their brand rather than their audience. And for that, we must hold them accountable. We must demand better because our children deserve a safe place to play, not a place to be haunted. Thank you.
That's wild timing. I literally just saw a video of a mom who was like, her kid was like just like scared to like go grab something from her room or whatever. And mom was like, what's going on? Like, why are you afraid of like being at the house? And she like finally explained like she saw something scary on like Roblox. And the mom was like, my biggest regret is like letting her get on Roblox. But at the same time, like I'm trying to like scale her going on it back versus like having this be something that like I'm afraid of what she's seeing. I'm afraid of those interactions. And I want her to still be able to tell me. And people were saying like this place is like Roblox has never been safe for kids. And and people were saying like there's this YouTuber, and I'm sure that's who they were talking about in the comments, but I didn't know who that was. But yeah, like all like that. To me, I think of it as a kid game.
Yeah.
And that's like why parents have thought of that as well. But it's like finding out that like, oh no, this has been like a pervasive issue for a long time.
Yeah, because it's a platform where you can go in and create any type of avatar that you want and interact with everyone. My nieces and nephews are on it, but they're heavily monitored while on it. They also like are my parents, or not my parents, their parents, my siblings, have them and not use the chat feature. They have to use like the actual talking feature if they're going to communicate with people so they can hear what the conversations are being had. And they're only playing with their friends. And sometimes I'll jump on and like play. And Noah has literally, I've gotten in a car that he was driving and he's left me in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my God, I didn't understand the game.
Because there's so many different games on the app. So it's basically an app that has numerous games within, and even like knockoff versions of like The Sims and things like that. And so you're in a world where you're being the character that you are, but you can interact with everybody else that's in the game. So you're all playing like at the same time.
Oh, that sounds like Ready Player One. That sounds
like
a post-apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really sketchy.
Yeah. And so you don't know who's behind these other faces.
I can't imagine like playing a Sims like game where there's like someone else there. Like that's
the main one that me and Noah play together, is that it's like building these houses and then like you accumulate all these like really nice cars and stuff that are equivalent to real world cars, and that's what he'll just come pick me up at my house and then drive me somewhere and just leave
just drop
me
you in the middle of the he like literally speeds off in his Nissan Sonata.
No, it's like a Ferrari. He's got the nice cars.
He's upgrading and he said, get her to the curb. That's funny. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's like a wildly fucked situation and thing for them to just also not care about, which I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's about money.
It always is about money.
All right, we're going to take a break.
You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Claptrap here. 2 big things are coming this fall. Borderlands 4 and Spotify Wrapped. So stop listening to that one playlist that reminds you of your ex who only made you cry. Talking about you, Veronica. And pre-order Borderlands 4, coming out September 12th.
Rated mature.
What if buying a new appliance felt like a win for your home and your wallet? Save up to 50%, plus up to an extra $600 on select major appliances at the Best Buy Appliances Labor Day sale. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
And we're back and it's my turn. My hot take is stop making scary reality TV. So often we see people talk about like discourse of reality TV and they're like, you could never make this today. You could never make this today. I'm sorry, we have a show called MILF Manor. Like, and you're telling me that we couldn't make Jersey Shore today? No, like we have shows where siblings go on dating shows together and then like there's a weird vibe of incest, even though they're not hooking up with they're hooking up with like not their siblings, but there's this jealousy with their like these TV shows are really fucking weird. So to say that like, oh my God, remember when reality TV like used to be unhinged?
It's always been unhinged.
It never stopped.
Do y'all not remember when they had that whole show where it was like Prince Harry was the main person? It was like a Bachelor situation, but it was Prince Harry.
But it wasn't him.
But it wasn't him
it was
at
some
all.
Pale ass redhead.
And all these women were like obsessed with him. There's also been like so many shows that have aired when Fox was just shelling out shows every week. There's so many of them that only aired just one episode and they had to cancel their shows because they were so bad.
And they're $10 million in. Mm-hmm. So I would like to refresh everybody's memory for what I think is currently happening right now as we're recording is the season of Bachelor in Paradise where they've decided to do the age mixing of the olds and the youngs.
To this.
No, hold on. So this is a refresh. So I'm just letting you all know that this is where, and here's the thing, The Bachelor is the through line.
Okay.
So we remember Paradise. Remember, wow, that's really uncomfortable. That's fucked up. And like the fucking host being like, love to see if they intergenerational mix. I also saw on the Bachelor or the Bachelor subreddit, people being like, well, this like season sucks because part of the reason why there was so much drama is like they had them in these like horrifically hot living conditions. They had like no AC. They like couldn't go it was too hot. They slept on the beach, like in these like little huts on the beach. So they were sleep deprived because like you can't just like take a midday nap. It's too fucking hot in there. You have no AC. But because there are old people and the risk of heat stroke is like so much greater, they now are in air conditioned facilities, which apparently the drama is just not happening because people keep taking naps and they're very well rested and thinking things through.
Okay.
So I'm seeing people complain about that, which I'm like, okay. But now we have 2 new shows. One is called Age of Attraction, which comes from Nick Viall from The Bachelor and his child bride. So they are doing a dating show about age gaps, old people. And get ready though. There's another one coming. Okay. So that we have this in the docket. And then we have a new show that is already out. Also starring Colton Underwood, the stalker from his season of The Bachelor, which to get out of the stalking, he thought the perfect timing for him to come out as being gay. Remember, he put a tracker on this girl's car, tormented her. She had a restraining order. Yeah, he jumped a fence. And Caitlin Bristow, who we've talked about, she's messy. And this is called Are You My First? And Colton Underwood was famously a virgin. And this is a dating show about virgins. And I have yet to know if everyone's a virgin or if it's people vying to pop the cherries.
Was he a virgin or had he just not been with women?
Oh, you're saying like what was his terminology for a virgin there? Like, had he never? I think he said he was like a virgin. I mean, which does not surprise me. But he wasn't out at
the time, so
no. But like vibe wise, it was virgin.
Yeah, the sad thing is that I've had, I think everyone you just mentioned on podcasts as guests.
I know.
So
I'll try to get on our podcast.
Yeah.
I just am like, what is wrong with The Bachelor? Like, we need to bring back Unreal and bring some shame back to these Bachelor producers because the fact that these all have come from like the same fucking franchise is diabolical to me.
Yeah. And they're also trying to just latch on to what they were doing before.
Yeah, but I'm just like, their whole thing of being like, Bachelor's like supposed to be like, you know, finding actual connections and all of this. And now we're actually going to have old people fuck 14-year-olds. And now we're going to have like
you just say
sorry.
It was 18.
Okay, you're right. 18. Sure. I don't know. They're going to have 18-year-old. Because that's the other part that I'm like, when are you going to start talking? When is casting going to start talking to these? Are you going to start talking to them when they're 18? Or are you going to be, oh, well, they're turning 18. So like, I'm going to start talking to a 16-year-old to then like make sure they have other contracts signed by the time we're finally in pre-production. They'll be 18. I'm like, ew. And I really hate how they're trying to frame this, the virgin one. A group of virgin singles gather at a tropical resort to find love through and explore intimate connections without judgment through romantic dates and challenges. They navigate relationships while searching for their perfect match. No, you just got a bunch of virgins in the room together. Like, it's the exact opposite of Too Hot to Handle, where it's like, we got a bunch of whores in a room and we're saying you can't fuck each other. And they're whores. So, of course, all they want to do is fuck. These sluts can't, which I think that is such a funny premise of a show. Because I'm like, they're not like addicted to fucking each other. Like, they're all fine, but they have to play it up for cameras. They're like, how am I ever going to do this? Like, what do you mean I have to sit in a room with this person and I can't have sex with them? But I'm like, it's like the exact opposite of that. And I'm just like, wait, what?
And I also don't believe the people that are on now because they're like COVID people. They could hold out.
Oh my God, without a doubt. And also, like, money's on the table. We're poor. Like, they will not. Like, I understand the first season because I also think they didn't tell them the premise until like later on. But like now I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. There's like, that's not, money's on the table. My legs are closed. They're fucking closed. So yeah, they literally said like, it's the hottest group of virgins ever assembled, search for intimacy, love, and maybe their first time having sex. What?
Yuck.
Literally, Colton Underwood. When I first heard about this project, I immediately called my team and said, I want to be involved in some way, shape, or form. And also, like, why Caitlin Bristow? Caitlin Bristow, like, famously broke the bachelorette rules and, like, fucked someone before fantasy dates.
I think that's the juxtaposition.
Oh, they said we've got the virgin and the whore. Like, that, it is literally, I'm just, like, I'm disgusted. And I hate it. And like, we might watch it. That's the worst part.
Of course you are.
And my final conclusion is I'm okay with unhinged reality TV. I love unhinged reality TV. That is fine. But do it like give me some narrative, give me some story, and stop having these people be trapped on an island with each other. Because I think about like Naked Attraction, which is in the UK. And first of all, we're learning about anatomy. We're learning it's very body positive. And guess what? They're in a studio and then they leave.
Right.
They're controlled. Not trapped there for all of this time together. And I just think that if I was going to like blame anything, I think I'm blaming Love is Blind, because I think once you decided that you're going to put people in rooms where they can't see each other, they said, turns out we can actually like just go to like the DSM-5, go to psychology like textbooks and figure out how exactly can we psychologically break these people down and fuck with these people. Let's do it like this. Whatever happened to real world? Whatever happened to just real people living in a house together?
The real world. What happens when 5 people stop being polite and start getting real?
And like, what about the even like, you want to trap them in a house like Big Brother? Okay, put it on the lot.
Yeah,
put it on the lot. Don't have them be like on a 16-hour flight away.
No, I agree with you. This shit is weird.
It's really,
but
fucking
it's
weird.
Also, I think the weirder we get, that just shows how the network TV is trying to make that swing again, because not as many things are getting made anymore. TV show seasons are so much shorter now, and now they're trying to and they're canceling everything, and so they're trying to get the cheapest option for what is considered high quality TV.
Yep. We're going to pay you pennies, you virgins. Like, it's just like, okay. And also just imagine like the old men who sign up for the age gap dating show.
No,
like, that's a list.
I don't want to.
That's a list.
I don't want to imagine it.
So you look at the screen. This is the cover photo of the show.
I saw that on TV and I didn't know what it was.
It's on Hulu. It's a wet stomach with a chair. It's a wet stomach and crotch shot with a cherry in the belly button.
I saw it. I saw it when I was going to watch General Hospital, of course. And I thought that it was one of those summer freeform shows, like a scripted summer freeform show. Okay, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and we get back. We'll get into, but are you wrong?
Breathe deep. Imagine your legs more limber in Duluth Trading Double Flex Denim. Envision euphorically squatting for that can of suds. Bending for your toolbox in a state of bliss. Lunging for your laser level on a whole new level. Relax and allow the flex to fill you with ability. Find your inner flex in Double Flex Denim only at Duluth Trading.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Got a car to sell but no time to waste? Hop on to Carvana.com to get a real offer for your car in seconds. All you have to do is enter your license plate, answer a few quick questions, and if you accept the offer, Carvana will pay you as soon as you hand the keys over. They even offer same-day pickup in many cities. Save your time, score some cash, and sell your car the convenient way to Carvana. Pickup times vary. Fees may apply.
All right, we're back. And this week we've got one regular one and one update. Now it's time for But Are You Wrong? This is when y'all write in and let us know what issues or predicaments that you have found yourself in and you wonder, am I wrong in this situation? And we'll discuss it and then take it to the internet, to Instagram.
Take it to the booth
for a vote. Here's the first one. I'm 20 and in college. A few days ago, my girlfriend broke up with me. She was the first girl I ever dated. I'd only dated guys before, so I hadn't really labeled myself on the sexuality spectrum. She's also the only person I've ever loved and the first person I was intimate with. We're both spiritual Christians, not super religious, but we care about our relationship with God. We never came out to our families because we both come from very conservative backgrounds. Only a few close friends ever knew. She ended things saying she feels like it's not in God's timing and that he's telling her not to date me right now. She says she still loves me and it hurts her too, but she believes it's what she's supposed to do. I told her I respect her decision, even though I'm heartbroken. The hard part is we're already locked in as roommates for next semester. We live on campus and signed up to room together before the breakup. We can't change it now. And honestly, I don't think she wants to. On top of that, I don't really have other friends here. I go to a Christian college my parents pushed me into, and I don't connect with most people because our values are so different. She's been my only real friend even before we started dating. So am I wrong for struggling with the idea of living with her now? Is it selfish to feel like I can't go back to being friends? And is it unfair of me to feel stuck when she still wants to be close, even though she ended things?
This is like the most like sapphic TV show I've ever heard of.
This is so
like,
layered.
This is like, I'm not shocked. Like this whole being like, oh, like she's my like closest friend. Like that's not shocking to me whatsoever. It happens in general in like not same sex relationships. Like that person becomes your best friend. But also like, even if there wasn't anything romantic there in freshman year of college, like you tend to like, you know, have a person.
Yeah.
But this person is checking off so many boxes.
Yeah. Including
why
yours.
The fuck did you do that? My God, is this your first time listening to the podcast? Like, because I'm like, there's no. First of all, we already tell you not to live with friends, and you're like, I'm not going to live with. But what if my girlfriend? No.
I think that she didn't think they were going to break up, and this was their secret way of being together. Like they wouldn't have to. Yeah, they're at a Christian college, and they wouldn't have to sneak around.
I mean, how much do you have to sneak? Like. And they were roommates. There's literally, we reference history books. We go, they were very close friends.
It might be one of those situations where you can't
They're
have
picking
like
up on the nuance.
Or you can't have like the door. Well, it's same sex. So
that's what I was about to say. Like, I think
that's true.
And they were roommates.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They just wanted to full circle and they were roommates. Really like live it.
Because they were supposed to be like romantic roommates.
Well, in history, they are all those. Are the
I know what I'm saying though is like you were saying they were trying to.
No, I was just that they were being the full circle. They could be like we were just roommates.
Yeah. Are you in a situation where you're in a like dorm room where you share the same room, or is it where you're like in a pod where you both have your own rooms but you like share a bathroom, or are you in a apartment together? But I think even if you were in an apartment together, I would think because you signed a lease. I would think you would still have 2 bedrooms because you wouldn't want your parents to catch on, right?
Oh yeah, good, wonderful call. You're right, without a doubt. Unless you guys didn't, and then I would say, okay, this plan was not very well thought out.
Yeah. So I think you're in 2 different rooms. I hope you're in 2 different rooms. In that case, I have been in several roommate situations where I never see the other person ever. You know, I know that she wants to still be friends and still be close, but you have boundaries. You need boundaries. So you just have to tell her that you have boundaries and you will be able to come and go as you want to. And it's not going to be like we're going to sit on the couch and watch TV and oops, we're cuddling now. No. And also this thing about God saying it's not time for y'all to be together right now. I believe in God, but this is bullshit. Like she wanted to break up and she wanted a reason to break up. What would be God's reason for y'all not being together right now? Quickly. What's his reason?
Yeah. This to me is like her still wanting to be friends and still wanting to live together and all of that. Like, I just have zero faith that like that's coming from not coming from I want to have my cake and eat it too kind of a place. Like when you don't have to be as like, so couples in general will talk about the roommate phase when they move in together, where it becomes like you don't actually have to put in as much effort about hanging out together, and it can just start to feel like roommates. But I think like this is going to have the opposite. It's like you're not going to have to like, you know, go out of your way to spend time together and plan things and do all of that. You're just going to be there together. And so it's going to be like, okay, even if we're not together, we're still acting like we're playing house. Like we're still having things that make us feel like we're together. And so then my question would be like, okay, cool. So like, what are you doing when you're planning your time out of the apartment? Like, what do you, like, what is that? Like, this feels like you still want all of the benefits of like our friendship and our romantic relationship together, but just like without the actual like relationship part. And like, I can imagine this is like so fucking isolating at a Christian college that like, no shit, she's your only friend. Like, how the fuck do you talk to it? How do you vet other people who like you can get kicked out of school? You like they'll tell your parent, like, how do you vet other people to know that like, oh, or do you just like withhold a massive part of your college life? Like, do you not introduce because you don't want them to like read into interactions or whatever? Like, you know, don't want them to follow you on social media and like see who you follow and like whatever. Like, it's just like you're having to do so much like intel and recon work with like your social interactions that I think you're not going to be able to stop that when you're still living with her. Like, I think it's going to make things more complicated in the sense that like, if I get invited over to like my friend, and like I'm in college, I get invited over to like my new friend's apartment and like her and her roommate, the vibes are like really fucking weird. I'm going to ask. Like, I'm going to be more suspicious over this because like this doesn't feel like a, you know, something going on here. So I think that like it's incredibly selfish of her to like I think you can say like I would love to still be friends, but like I understand if that's not okay. But like to kind of be like, I want us to live together, I want us to still be friends and act like that. Like, you are well within your right, and it's far more common to be like, yeah, I actually can't do that. Like, it's a ridiculous assumption on her part that nothing's going to change in that way. And, you know, it might be like an expensive issue where it's like, oh shit, now we have to like figure out a new lease and figure out and do all of that kind of stuff. But I think it is exponentially worse for your mental health to stay in this, like, by any means. Like, I don't think you're wrong for feeling this way at all. And I have questions about her feelings because I'm like,
yeah, I think she still wants to be together.
I think so too. And like, I don't want to put this in your head because like you're heartbroken, but like, does she have like a friend from high school who she recently saw? Like, is there something there that it's like, oh, I don't want, like, I want to be single for this like window because like there's there's another connection there, but I want to make sure that this is like ready to come back to. And like, sometimes you can ask like that. And like some people in some relationships, it's like, if there's an understanding of like truth and honesty, like, okay, for sure. But like, just to put you on a back burner and then to think that like your feelings are going to be okay afterwards, like, it's just like really naive to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not wrong. Yeah, put school first.
Yeah.
For right now. And I think that the more you are not around her, you'll be able to find other friends that are the same as you. You just have to explore a little bit more. It's going to be hard, but I think you'll be able to find people that have the same values that you have if you branch out a little bit. There might be clubs that are coded and just branch out a little bit and join clubs and meet more people.
Yeah. And even just like see who follows Renee Rapp on Instagram. Like, see, like, there's different levels of accepting, and like whether you're a part of the community or accepting community or just like tolerant of. And I think like there's a lot of people in these situations who will outwardly portray being more tolerant than bigots when in reality they're like true feelings. That's them hiding where they align with. Like, people are going to be doing the same kind of like sneaky work that you are doing to like hide and only show who you are to certain people who have been deemed safe. So finding ways to like to flag that to other people, figure out how you are doing that to people, and then be receptive when to figure out how other people might be doing that as well.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll get into the next one, which is an update.
You don't technically need this car. You say that out loud to yourself. You say, I have no space. You say, I'm just looking. Then you click. Then you zoom in on photo number 87 and whisper, oh no. Then you text a friend, the one who always enables you. You say to yourself, this is the last one, knowing it is not. You don't need this car. But maybe, just maybe, this car needs you. Bring a trailer. It's never just a car.
You're tuned into Auto Intelligence, live from Auto Trader, where data, tools, and your preferences sync to make your car shopping smooth.
They're searching inventory.
Oh, yeah.
They find what you need.
They're gonna find it.
You can make a budget for your wallet to help you succeed. Pricing's precise and true.
So true.
It's smarter car shopping.
Ooh.
Just for you.
Oh, it's just for you. Ooh. Find your next ride at autotrader.com. Powered by Auto Intelligence.
Comcast is committed to bringing access to the internet to all Americans, including rural communities across the country, like Sussex County, Delaware.
We were being left behind. Everybody around us seemed to have internet, but we did not. High-speed internet is one of those good things that we needed to help us move our farming, our small businesses, our recreation forward.
Learn more about how we're bringing our next generation network to more people across the country at ComcastCorporation.com/investment in America.
Okay, we have an update for the SZA Catwoman write-in. Meghan and Melisa, I forgot I sent this. See, I told you the cold medicine was factoring in. And I never expected you to actually read it. You've asked if I stand by my takes, which I don't, because I really never did. I'm truly surprised by all those who said I was not wrong. All DM write-ins that Melisa read, I fully agree with. These takes I presented are misguided, uninformed, and significantly. And here's why.
I
don't know what the last part means. All of these takes I've presented are misguided, uninformed, and significantly. And here's why. I've been struggling with OCD. A major fear is being wrong, and this means not doing adequate research on the subject I'm writing as exposure therapy homework. I wrote a silly little précis while sick about something I knew little about. Originally, I wasn't going to send it in, but I had the bad idea to further the exposure beyond the therapy session by sending the email. Gilmore Girls is the only show I watch because my work is so time-consuming. I'm both a student and faculty at a four-year university. But when I had the flu, I binge-watched television. I like the media I consumed while ill, but I have no strong opinions. Other than Cordelia Cup, I do think she's an interesting character I'd love to see more of, even if it breaks from the Clue homage, thus making it unnecessary to set a separate limited series where she solves murder in a residence. By the way, that was, in fact, not picked up. So
we said that
in
the last episode.
I don't keep up with SZA. I'm sorry, that's the craziest thing. Like, all of this, and you don't even keep up with SZA. You keep up with SZA enough to know she was Catwoman in a commercial. I like her music, but I don't have the mental capacity to keep up with celebrity news. I only rely on a couple of podcasts, including yours, to keep me in tune with current pop culture and online discourse, as I have someone interested in. I listen to these on my long commute. I walked back in the room halfway through that commercial being on, and I did think for a second it was a trailer, and I was confused. I don't even know if Sid is actually in SAG. She is.
She is. You have to be especially in a major motion picture.
Too.
And the commercial.
The idea of her being Catwoman just stuck with me because I had just watched One of Them Days, and because throughout the spring I was made to consume a plethora of Marvel media from the first comics to present day. This was my graduate degree in literature and counted as a credit in cultural studies. Nice. I've been trained to be and currently am a published creative and academic writer. Perhaps this is the reason for the coherence. Although I read that email and I disagree with the claim that the previous email reads coherently in any capacity. I appreciate your humoring me and apologize for taking your time. I really do love the podcast and have been here from the beginning. Great hearing your opinions always. I knew that was like a Tamiflu cold induced.
And plus a writing exercise.
Without a doubt. And
but
also
we
someone
read
who
pretty much everything that everybody sends in.
We do.
So
not allowed always.
Not allowed always, but we're definitely taking it in. So if you send it in, there's a high chance it's going to end up on air. So don't just send, if you just want to do a writing assignment, send it to a fake email address because we will see it.
Or like, it's like leaving a voicemail being like, I'm just like working on getting over my fear. We're going to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are going to hear it and like we might end up playing it. Remember when we have someone who like just like butt dialed and like literally left like the longest one?
Yes.
And they called like multiple times because it was like 3-minute segment.
It was somebody's grandma. that she was going to whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah. And we were
And
like,
she used
damn,
other
I
words.
wish she could call back because
I
I'm actually
know.
deeply curious.
I
but
was
she didn't mean to.
invested.
Me
I was
too.
listening to every part.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. And SZA is in SAG.
Yeah, she has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the update. All right, let's get into but are they wrong? This is when we pick some person, place, or thing that is wrong and share it with everyone. Here's my wrong of the week, and it is the Texas Republican legislators. So I want to start with an image. It's an image that went viral, an image that tells a story far deeper than just a single moment in time. The image is one of a woman, a state representative, sleeping on a cold marble floor in the Texas state capitol. She's wrapped in a blanket, a pink pillow beneath her head. Next to her, a book on American ideas and a big Texas flag. The pillow reads, "Y'all means all." This is the story of State Representative Nicole Collier, and her story is a powerful lesson in the dignity, courage, and the ongoing fight for democracy. You might know the headlines. Texas Democrats fled the state to block a vote on a controversial redistricting bill. They returned, a quorum was achieved, and a legislative session could finally begin. But then the Texas Republican leadership imposed a new rule of the returning Democrats. If they wanted to leave the House floor, they had to sign a permission slip and be shadowed 24/7 by a Department of Public Safety officer. It sounds absurd, like something out of a political satire, and most of the Democrats wanting to get back to their lives complied. But Nicole Collier refused. She refused to sign a slip. She refused the police escort. And because of that refusal, she was confined to the House floor. For over 24 hours, she stayed there, choosing to sleep on a chair and then on the floor rather than surrender her dignity. Why did she do this? She said it best herself. "I refuse to sign away my dignity as a duly elected representative just so Republicans can control my movements and monitor me with police escorts." Her protest was an act of profound civil disobedience. It transformed a seemingly small procedural matter into a monumental stand for human rights. It exposed the surveillance, the intimidation, and the performative power play that was happening. She was making a statement that a legislator should not be treated like a criminal for peacefully protesting a bill she believes is harmful to her constituents. She also showed us that freedom and dignity are not for sale, not even for the price of a permission slip. She became a political prisoner by choice, and in doing so, she became a hero. Her action was so powerful, it sparked a cascade of solidarity. Lawmakers stayed with her. Protesters gathered outside the Capitol chanting, "Let her out." The image of a Black woman being held captive for standing up for her community resonated deeply with people across the country. But to fully understand her protest, you have to understand what she was fighting against. This wasn't just a piece of paper. It was about the redistricting plan itself. Every 10 years after the census, states redraw their political maps to account for population changes. The process is supposed to ensure their fair representation. But too often it's used for gerrymandering, the practice of drawing district lines to give one political party an unfair advantage. And that's exactly what Democrats and civil rights advocates say the Texas Republican plan does. The goal is to create up to 5 new Republican-leaning seats, which would significantly increase their power in Congress. But they can't do that without undermining the voices of the people who are driving the state's population growth, the very community that Nicole Collier represents. Let's look at the numbers as shared by her colleagues. Representative Vince Perez. In Texas, there's 1 congressional seat for every 430,000 white residents. But for Latinos, it's 1 seat for every 1.2 million. And for Black Texans, it's 1 seat for every 2 million. The plan would make it even worse. This is what's known as packing and cracking. They pack minority voters into a handful of safe districts, concentrating their power so they can't influence nearby districts. They then crack other minority communities, splitting them up and merging them into sprawling majority white districts, effectively silencing their vote. This isn't just a political tactic. It's an act to discriminate that directly violates the Voting Rights Act and the very principles of fair representation. It's a strategy that says, we will not let your numbers translate into political power. And this is why the Republican approach is so wrong. First, their actions are a transparent power grab. They're not focused on serving the public. They're focused on enriching their own power for the next decade. When a party has to change the rules, issue civil rights warrants, and demand police escorts just to pass a bill, it's a clear sign that they're not operating with the consent of the governed. Second, their methods are undemocratic. The use of police escorts is not just unnecessary, it's an act of humiliation and intimidation. It treats elected officials who disagree with them as they are criminals. It normalizes authoritarian behavior. It's an abuse of power, plain and simple. And finally, it's wrong because it undermines the foundational promise of our republic, that every person's voice matters and that our government should be representative of the people it serves. Representative Collier's protest wasn't just about refusing an escort. It was refusal to go along quietly with a system designed to silence the very people who sent her to Austin. The story of Nicole Collier sleeping on the House floor is a stark reminder that democracy is fragile. It's not just about big elections. It's about small, everyday fights. The fights for dignity, for representation, and for justice. Representative Collier stood up and stood on business, and by doing so, she gave voice to her community and to everyone who has ever felt silence. She showed us that courage isn't always a dramatic speech or a public rally. Sometimes it's just a woman and a pillow and the will to refuse to surrender.
Damn, you were right to write that at 6 a.m. before you went to bed. That ending was beautiful.
Thank you.
And now we have our governor who's saying, okay, fight fire with fire. We're redistricting and we'll get those 5 seats back.
And New York is saying that they're going to do the same thing too.
Yeah, and I really do need Republicans. They don't have a choice. They're about to get very familiar with Gavin Newsom. And when he says fight fire with fire, he means he's going to light a bazooka on fire. He's going to light.
He's going to send a cannon.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. He is.
Goodbye, OC.
Yeah. No, like legitimately, like he's about to be like, I'm bombing Orange County and cutting it off and putting it into the water. Like, fuck you all. So, well, yeah, it's all fucked. It's all deeply fucked.
Yeah. And they made it illegal for her to leave.
Yeah, which is nobody like concerned, even the people who voted. I'm like, you're not concerned for all these like brand new things that like regulations and laws and things that you have. You got to storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Okay. So similar to my hot take, I am running it back to another person who has been talked about on this podcast because I'm not going to let them rest. And sometimes when I run it back, I think it's important because I don't want anyone to think that these people have improved. They have gotten better. They've like learned from their mistakes, or they've even acknowledged that these things are mistakes. If these people have no haters, I am dead.
Okay.
So we are running it back with Madison Prewett and her husband, Trizzy Trout, Grant Trout. So shout out to Barb, Peter Weber's mom, who was the Bachelor that season. When Peter picked Maddie, because Maddie was originally who he picked, Barb was like distraught. She was like, no, go get Hannah Ann. And then she kept crying, saying, bring her home to me. And everyone's like, so Barb must have seen something in that we did. Because she said, you cannot marry this girl. I hate this girl, essentially. So they have been facing backlash, as they should, for saying it's going to be hilarious to spank their baby.
Did you say hilarious to spank their baby?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Meghan.
Brand new sentence. So,
like,
like there's actually organizations that we can alert to this. Like, that's the part that I'm like, this is the privilege that they have to get on a fucking podcast mic and like say shit like this and like from their multi-bajillion dollar fucking mansion and like nothing happens. And I'm like, okay, for sure. So they welcomed their baby daughter, which I have to assume this is a Bible name. Hosanna?
Yeah.
For a bit, when I just heard it being spoken, I thought it was like a Josephina kind of I thought it was in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm seeing it spelled out now. And now I was like, oh, this I think is biblical. So they spoke about this on their podcast, which, do they have sponsors? Like, how the fuck are we doing this?
Well,
stay true.
They probably have the ICE, which I have to contact because they're inundating the podcast that I produce.
Mm-hmm.
ICE, they probably got those Christian ones. So there's a lot of them that we say no to that they're saying yes to.
And by the way, if you ever hear like an ad that you're like, it's not read by us and it sounds like wild and like so anti us, send us a message. Those are not, we have like a list of things we don't want. And sometimes they still slip through and we don't put them on the podcast. So they spoke about whether they'd spank their daughter when they were older. And they said that they would because it is supported in the Bible. But then Grant goes on to say, laughing, it's going to be hilarious when we get to spank her. And then he says, the Lord's discipline is always off the heels of disobedience or sin. So think about it. When you have a child, you don't just discipline them for being good and obeying you, right? Like if Hosanna obeys us, we're not just like, come here, girl. All right, pull him down. Get that. You know what, mama? Get her. Which will be hilarious, by the way, when we start spanking Hosanna, which we will on the record, because the Bible clearly says folly is the bound up in a child, but discipline drives it far away. And then Maddie chimes in saying, it also specifically says discipline with a rod. Well, people could say you discipline them with timeouts. Hold on. It says a rod.
Which is a metaphor. And
I read that in the comments.
And then they've also there's this thing that's like, spare the rod, spoil the child. But like, it's a metaphor. Like that's a verse in the Bible, but it's a metaphor saying that if you don't punish, but it's not meaning like actual beating your child with a rod.
Well, it
just means discipline them.
And like the way that these same people can point to things in the Bible and be like, that's a metaphor, that's an allegory. But then other things are completely literal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you're just like, that is just picking and fucking choosing.
Yeah. It's just like, don't let your child go around doing whatever they want because they'll turn into a brat. That's what that means. It does not mean beat them.
No. Make sure that respect your child and teach your child how to respect other people.
Mm-hmm.
And your child will respect you. Like, but then Jana Kramer, who was on, she was on One Tree Hill is how I know her. And she also had like a country music career. Good song. She has a podcast. She, I would say, is like the country music equivalent of like, I mean, I wouldn't say this, but some people might say like a Caitlin Bristow. Like she's like overshares, has talked about her divorces and infidelity on podcasts with her cheating husband, where people are like, whoa, this kind of feels like a private conversation. I don't know that much about her, but like I always enjoyed her on One Tree Hill. I thought she was right. That's what she was on.
Yeah.
Okay. And so and I don't know if it was two friends or two guests or whatever, but they were talking about it on their podcast. And one of the women, not Jana, was basically being like, I really don't like how people are saying that like it's hitting. And they both were like, I mean, it is hitting. Like I wouldn't, I'm not judging you, but I'd be like, that's what and this person was like so deeply uncomfortable and upset and hurt by people saying that her hitting her child was hitting, that I'm just like, this like mentality of like trying to differentiate between all of this and like seeing this discourse open. I'm like, more people should be talking about this. Like the fact that you are so hurt that people would call that hitting when he's talking about how hilarious it's going to be he's talking about hitting his baby. Is just like, what the fuck? And being excited to do so. She's quite literally an infant.
Also,
it's perverted.
It's weird. Also, if you are someone that believes in the Bible, which these people claim they do, but they just take it and interpret it in the way that they see fit to live their lives, then you would not think that it would be hilarious, because that would mean that anytime that you were being disciplined by God, then you think that he's laughing at you.
Which is dark.
Yeah.
That's really dark when you put it like that. I never, I'm not.
So that's what they're thinking. It's just that, God's laughing at us because we do things wrong. You're weird.
Yeah. Really fucking weird. Really, really weird. And I like hate that like the shit that they have said that their kid will eventually like see online. But at the same time, I have zero faith in the capability of them as like healthy parents, that I'm like, it might also be kind of comforting at a certain age to be like, oh, wow, you said all this shit publicly. It's not in my head. This isn't like, people are going to believe me because like you put all of this out there. You put this business out there when I was like literally an infant, and like, this is all like fucked up. And it is my it's like, you shouldn't be doing any of this. But like the fact that you're doing it publicly and so unabashedly is like, you know, I also hope that like when someone eventually calls CPS, like they've got the record, they've got this shit there. Cause like, I don't like Maddie Prewett, but like the fact her husband was the one who like said that to me, I'm like,
I would have immediately called him out and said, what would be funny about that? But we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No, but like you giggling, thinking about the idea, talking about pulling her pants down and hitting her butt is like really perverted to me. Like there's like no, because in this hypothetical, like in reality, she is a baby who's not done anything wrong. There is no like, you should never be excited for your kid to make a mistake that you think warrants physically spanking them. Like that is not something that should be a fun and exciting thing for you. Like I'm looking at you in a way that I'm like, oh, I'm okay. You're not changing our baby's diaper anymore. Like I'm deeply concerned about her well-being with you, and like, goodbye. Like disgusting.
But she's not having those same thoughts.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, to me, that's where I think they're both with him. Completely like incapable of being good parents.
Yes.
Because her essentially being like, well, we're not doing it with a rod. And I'm like, perverts. Disgusting.
Weirdos. No better than, I sent you the video, but I didn't think you watched it. No better than
the Spider-Man. I was scared to watch it.
Well,
I didn't know how it was going to, you said it was really good until the end. Then I was like, well, I don't want to watch it.
Think about the worst thing that could happen.
Did the kid fall?
No, it was perverted.
No, I don't want.
Did the Spider-Man upside down thing, and then his mom pulled his mask down and kissed him on the lips. This is a 3-year-old, and this was a photo shoot.
I'm so glad I didn't open it. But like, as soon as you said it was good until the end, I was like, I don't want to know.
It was fun. Like he was like crawling on walls and stuff.
That's
like
disgusting.
It was cute. And then at the end, that's how it ended. And there are a lot of people in the comments defending.
Here's the thing. You want to kiss your kid on the mouth?
Don't do
That's
it.
not my problem.
No.
Like, that's not I'm not in your family. It's not my problem. I think like germ wise, like kids are really gross. Like with like kids are nasty. I don't know why you as an adult would be like, yeah, I want to, I'm going to subject myself to like that level of germs. But like this is you can't take something that is like sexual and like romantic
yes.
and then make it like family. Like
yes.
I'm not making your kissing your kid on the mouth perverted when you put it in the context of a romantic relationship. Also, those two actors were dating. They were fucking. When you put it in that context, you're the pervert.
Yep.
Now suddenly kissing your kid on the mouth is perverse.
Yes.
Good God. Can't believe you sent that to me.
Well, I saw it and
evens out when I showed you the Sinners Gelfie edit. My For You page is like trying to make up for it because I'm just getting all these.
I'm so glad that I clicked on the other one on my computer so then it wouldn't go to my For You. It wouldn't be in my algorithm because I do not want that.
I just think like, because that person's literally never seen Sinners, but I just think at that point, like, don't make an edit to a song if you're not even going to look up what the movie's about or like what the edit of the whole thing is.
That's the same reason I couldn't get behind the Tyrant stuff. It just feels like another form of colonization.
The sad,
yes,
that part of it.
Yes.
That, I mean, I think like when you take it out of the context of like the song, I saw like a lot of think pieces about what does it mean to like have such a strong juxtaposition between like these lyrics and then these lyrics and like how do those like relate or whatever, which is like interesting. But like when you only use this part of the edit, you don't have the whole story of the song.
But also you don't have the whole story, but you're saying it would be better if she would have done it this way.
Oh, you mean the people saying just put this as a full song?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant just like when people were using the beginning of Tyrant.
No. When they're saying just use this as a song and then taking it and making it mean what they want it to mean. And then it just felt like a form of colonization. Like you're taking 100%. This to change it to be what you want it to do while taking it out the connotation of what it actually is.
Well, and also like what we talked about before, which was like so irritating. Like the song exists. Like you can listen to these, and like this just also tells me you know nothing about Beyonce's discography, and then you just go, oh, I heard this clip, and like this is how I want it to be done, and I'm like, how do you know that's not how it's done? Like how do you? And you like these, like this is not like I finally like a Beyonce song. I go, no, you like 2 Beyonce songs now. Go listen to them both.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like the same thing where they're taking the movie out of connotation and then giving it a meaning that's not the meaning of what's going on.
Yeah. Just gives me the spooks.
Yeah. We went on a long tangent.
Sorry. Oh, that's the end. Sorry. I was like, what happens after this? That is it. That is it for this episode. Don't forget to vote on who you think was wrong in each one of the segments that we talked about. That'll be over on our Instagram stories. And if you want to watch the video version of the podcast, head on over to Patreon. We also do live streams twice a week. They are great fun. And I didn't say twice a week, twice a month. I think I said a week. I don't know. We do live streams there twice a month. Fun, meet some new people. We met Mary. That'd be crazy. So, we hope you all enjoyed, and stay tuned for the rest of the content that we put out.
Tuesday, we've got See You Next Tuesday. Thursday, Don't Blame Me. Friday, Fisting Friday. Monday, we'll be back for another episode of But Am I Wrong? We will circle back.
Goodbye. Bye. This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Hi, I'm Brandy Basanti. For the last 15 years, I've starred on one of the most successful reality shows of all time, Story Tours. On my new show, The Real Reality, my guest and I will reveal the real story of what it's like navigating fame and notoriety. Because it's my show, I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. No filters, no rules, no network executives. And I believe that's what the world wants. Raw, real, authentic, and I'm gonna fucking give it to you. Though success is great, being in the public eye can come at a cost. Oftentimes, what you see on camera is not the real reality. On each episode of my show, we'll sit down with a different notable individual from the world of TV, film, sports, or internet fame. We will explore their unique story, what really happened on and off camera, how becoming famous has truly impacted their lives, and what their vision is for their future. In a world obsessed with celebrity, followers, and subscribers, the true story is often lost or even buried. This show will reveal what really happened. This show will reveal what people really felt. This show will reveal what fame is really like. This is The Real Reality. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Does music really have the power to heal? How can you instantly be more persuasive? What would the world be like if there were no bugs? These are the kind of topics we explore in every episode of my podcast called Something You Should Know. My name is Mike Carruthers, and what we do on Something You Should Know is we find leading experts and curate topics that will impact your life, satisfy your curiosity, or simply fascinate you, maybe all of the above. Out of all the millions of podcasts in the universe, Something You Should Know is usually ranked in the top 200 of all podcasts on Apple. A lot of people like Something You Should Know, and I'm willing to bet you will too. We deliver 3 episodes a week and have a catalog of over 1,000 shows for you to listen to. Give a listen to Something You Should Know, wherever you get your podcasts.
Look, we all know there are a lot of celebrity interview podcasts out there, but there's only one, Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and yeah, I'm the host of the show, so I'm a little biased, but truly Happy, Sad, Confused is the place for nerdy and intimate conversations with all your favorite actors and filmmakers. From Andrew Garfield and Scarlett Johansson to Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino. For over 10 years and over 700 episodes, Happy, Sad, Confused has broken movie and TV news every single week. That's because I ask all the questions I want to know, and more importantly, you want to know. Casting what-ifs, backstage stories, acting pet peeves, and much more. So whether you're into superheroes, prestige TV, or just the coolest actors and directors alive, you're going to learn something in every episode. Listen to Happy, Sad, Confused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.